This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube, coming at you with another Juggalo Championship Wrestling interview. This time we have none other than the JCW Women's World Champion, Hollywood Hailey J, who is also on the OVW TV show Wrestlers, and she's a power slap fighter. You just got back from Power Slap, didn't you?
I
Welcome
did.
to the show, and how was that?
It could have went better for me. I almost went to sleep. Everybody's got a button, and she hit it right on the money. But, I still got paid, so, and I learned a big lesson, which was, hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work hard, she worked very hard for that, and I didn't really take it that serious. I thought it was just a slap like any other day, and it most definitely was not. So, you know.
Well, you've put some girls to sleep yourself, or at least knocked them pretty silly, I would say. I was just watching some of your Power Slap fights. How many have you had?
That's two. I'm 1-1. I put
Okay.
someone to sleep and I almost got put. I got back up for the record. She didn't sleep me, but it was a good one. It was definitely a good one.
And I see Big Al, one of your wrestling biggest competitors, is also in that Alicia Crowley. Have you fought her yet in Power Slap, or could you see that happening?
No, we're in two different weight classes. It's Big Al. She's Big Al for a reason. She's in 135, maybe 145. I can't remember, but I'm 125.
How did you get into Power Slap?
They just called me and was like, heard you was canceled in the locker room for slapping hoes. You want to do it for money? And I was like, what? How much money? And then I actually turned him down, but shout out to Sin Bodie. He was like, man, if anyone knows you and knows you can do this, it's me. And I think you should do it. So I did it. Here we are.
Yeah, I hear he's like the liaison for wrestlers wanting to get into Power Slap.
For sure. For sure.
Now, were you nervous at all going into that? Because I mean, I'm sure you've been in real fights because you seem to have that attitude. It's got to be hard not being able to hit back and to leave yourself open like that.
Um, I do pro wrestling, so, it's definitely, I don't know. It wasn't that hard to be like, yeah, go ahead and hit me because I have to trust people with my body every day I get in the ring. But other than that, I definitely thought shit was sweet because I had been in fights and everything, and I knew I could take a hit. But I guess what I didn't know was about all the arteries and buttons and nerves and things that we have, and these trained silent killers know about all of those. So, yeah.
So, are you under contract to them to be with them for a while, or is it show to show?
We sign a contract each time, like each fight.
Okay. So, are you
Yep.
going to be back, or are you going to focus on wrestling now?
I'm definitely gonna be back. I gotta redeem myself. I feel like that wasn't good enough for me. I'm definitely not leaving on an L. That's not how my mental works. So I'll be back at Power Slap, but I still got wrestling. JCW. We're touring everywhere, so I get to do a little bit of both. I get to live the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and I'm going to be at the JCW show in Wichita October the 28th, so I'll get to maybe interview you in person there
Yeah.
quickly. But let's take a look at the poster. Couple, actually, three sold out shows coming up: Portland, Indiana, Anaheim, Las Vegas, Denver, Wichita, Columbia. You really are all over the place. Tell us about this tour. Do you have any idea who you're going to be wrestling?
Oh no. It really doesn't matter who I'm wrestling though. Just know that I'll probably be defending my title, and it's not going anywhere, but right back around my waist where it belongs.
You have other titles too, right?
I do. I'm also currently the Row Women's Champion. That's Booker T's school out here in Houston, Texas. I'm a Resin Mania champion. That's a little weed promotion because 420. And then I'm a international champion. I have a title from across the pond.
Very interesting. So you're kind of like the JCW version of Mercedes Monet.
You could say that. I'm sure she wouldn't like that, but you could say that.
So you are the champion of Booker T's school. Of course, they're one of the WWE ID program schools.
Mhm.
What's your relationship like with WWE these days? Because you have to be on their radar, considering you're the champion of one of their ID schools.
I think that, they've always been watching since the Netflix thing dropped or after that dropped. They've had their eye on me, but it's WWE. They're very political, and I'm very much me. And I don't know how to be political all the time. So when the time is right, I will be signed to one of these major companies.
That's what I like about JCW. They are the place. They're like the ECW of 2025. They'll take the
Right.
non-political people, and there needs to be a company like that right now. And I don't want to get you in any trouble, but I'll say it because I'm not on anyone's radar. That the bigger companies are very corporate and very political. So it's nice to see that there is one kind of like for the outcasts. How long have you been with JCW?
Not very long. I've done a few tours now, maybe like three different tours. So I'd say about 4 or 5 months, per se. But it's so crazy because I've been a fan since I was a kid, and I remember going to the gathering as a child and my mom wrestling on these shows. So it's real cool, full circle moment for me because I've been a fan forever.
Yeah, and I just posted a recent match where you were managing your mom. I believe it was against Big Al. What's that like
Hmm.
to be working with your mom?
Oh, it's great. I mean, we work together many other places, but this one specifically, like, she loves JCW. She loves ICP. She loves JCW. She just loves everything about it. So to be able to have that moment with her, means so much more rather than just by myself or even wrestling with her on another company, because this is like her favorite.
So you're talking about the gathering and attending these big Juggalo events. What has your experience been like at these actual gatherings? And for someone watching this that has no idea what they are, could you share with us what they're like?
The gatherings are crazy, man. It's like a big festival. There's several different performers, major names other than ICP that's always there. And everybody just kind of doing their thing, doing whatever drug they do, and living their best life out in the woods somewhere in Ohio. And I mean, as far as the wrestling, it's crazy. It's big personalities. Everyone's a big character, and then there's crazy wrestling too. But I think it's the personalities that really get people to connect and get them watching. And then the fans, man, they're crazy. They be throwing like batteries and stuff. I remember being a kid sitting in the crowd trying to watch the actual wrestling show, and I'm like dipping batteries and things because people are just throwing shit everywhere. Yeah, it is crazy. I don't know how to describe it other than that. Crazy. Psycho.
Psycho. Well, speaking of Psycho, it kind of came out in the news today, just to get your opinion on the news, that for that whole Psycho Stu Raja Jackson thing, it looks like the prosecutors are looking for jail time for Raja Jackson. What's your opinion on that whole situation, being both a wrestler and a fighter?
Um, I think as a wrestler, they definitely did not give him the information that they should have gave him, and if they did, they were unclear on it, just from seeing all the clips and everything. But as a human, okay, I think that it just he's a certified bitch. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here, but I think it's just inhumane to do something like that. Literally attempt to murder someone who didn't touch your kids or is trying to kill you or rape your mom, something so crazy to me. Even if it was he was upset about the beer smash, whatever, the can, whatever you want to say, that was just not serious enough to go that far and do all that. Because if it was me personally in the streets who have been in several altercations, and whoop some ass, I have never got the best of someone and then thought to myself, oh, I need to continue going. No, I got him. What are you trying to prove? At that point, you're a murderer. You're a murderer. So I guess he gets what he deserves.
Yeah, and it didn't look like he was going to stop if they didn't pull him out. He was going to keep going. But as far as I know, your mom was in the business, so you kind of grew up in it. One thing that kind of offended me about that whole thing as a wrestler is, what did you think about like the non-wrestler being backstage and kind of like the whole dressing room is catering to this guy? Because it used to be like a
Well,
sanctuary of wrestlers.
it used to be. Wrestling has definitely changed a lot since even when I was a kid, before I even started wrestling. It's totally different. They allow things like that. They even welcome it. So, I mean, it's time for wrestlers to protect the business again, or, same dumb shit's going to continue happening. But yeah, it's crazy. Don't even get me started. My blood boiling.
Now, what's the JCW locker room like? I'm sure you're not good friends with Big Al because I can tell there's some heat there. But like, what's the environment like backstage?
You know what? We're all a big family. And even when it comes to Big Al, it sounds crazy, but she's like my little big sister. Like, I will beat the shit out of her. But if somebody else, on the streets was going to, I would be there in a heartbeat. But, she's mad right now. And she could stay mad because, but we're all a big family. We all have fun and, do our jobs and protect each other because sometimes the gatherings can get crazy. And you better believe if somebody was to run in there at a JCW show, the whole locker room would be out there whooping ass, not just a few wrestlers trying to strong arm them. Okay.
And I've seen some vignettes of you maybe having a puff or something before your match, and some of the wrestlers are walking out to the ring drinking and stuff. Is it kind of like a big party as far as JCW? Because you're not going to see that in most indie companies, wrestlers drinking these days before a show. Outside of Texas, anyways. Texas, they seem a little bit more laid back about things.
Well, I mean, I don't even know outside of I mean, it definitely is a big party, but I don't even think I'm trying to recall people like drinking other than James Storm, who has his beer. I think they typically wait until after the shows. We're all still professionals, but we do party, we do get down.
Cool. I've wrestled James Storm a couple times before. He's a tough guy, I'll say that. So as a
Some people.
second generation wrestler, your mom's amazing, Maria. What was it like growing up in a wrestling family, and did she play a hand in your training?
She opened up doors for me that I couldn't have opened myself. We'll say that. My pops actually trained me, Reverend Ronnie Roberts. He also wrestles, but he was the one who was in the ring, doing the work with me. Mom was more behind the scenes, marketing and trying to get me book places and things like that.
Is there anyone you looked up to get into the business? Did someone inspire you? Is it mainly just wanting to follow in the footsteps of your mom?
I mean, I loved wrestling as a kid. You could say Mickey James and Lita and the Hardy Boys and Eddie Guerrero. Like those are my all-time favorites, and those are the reason like why I watch wrestling. So I would say they were my inspirations. Not even mom. I'm the reason why mom started wrestling. So you know, I
Oh,
just see
really? Because
myself
you
up in
were a
their steps.
fan?
Yeah, well, I mean, we were all fans. She loved wrestling as well, but I didn't know that there was such thing as the indies. I only knew of WWE, TNA. That was it. So we went to an indie show that her friend ran where she was like taking pictures at the time. And then I was like, oh, you could do this? You should do this. And then she started wrestling it there and worked her way all the way up. And yeah, I was like 8, 9, 10, something like that.
Are you born and raised in Houston?
No, I'm a Kentucky girl.
Oh,
Louisville,
really?
Kentucky. Yeah, I'm from Kentucky. I was born in Somerset and kind of bounced everywhere all over Kentucky.
So did you go to indie wrestling or WWE growing up?
I did. I went to a couple shows. I mean, we were broke, so I went to like 2 actual shows, WWE, and then maybe 2 TNA shows. And that was after mom got her foot in the door and started working her, magic, got her name out there a little bit, and started making connections to be able to do that. But yeah, I got to go see a few. I got to see a few. I got to see more JCW shows than I got to see live WWE shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for
Was
sure.
that because your mom was a fan of the clowns?
Yeah, and she was there. She wrestled here too. So
Oh, okay. Does she
mhm.
still live in Kentucky, or do you all live
Yeah,
in Houston now? Yeah.
she's still in Kentucky. I'm the only one in Houston. I came out here on a risk and just been out here on my own ever since.
How many years have you been wrestling for?
Almost 6. It'll be 6 years in January.
Okay, so you're a true veteran.
I think I don't know. I'm old school, so they used to say if you're not 10 years in the business, shut the fuck up. So
Yeah. Well, these days a lot of the girls uh, get paid to train. There was one. Do you know this? Maybe you know her name. The ex soccer player that just quit NXT because they didn't offer her a contract over 100,000. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I
One of the
don't.
fans are going to let me know. But yeah, I guess she was a soccer player that was paid to train. She didn't think like 80 or 90,000 is enough for her, so she didn't accept the contract renewal.
Well, all
Was
I gotta say is don't go to the Indies, honey.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you get involved Ohio Valley Wrestling?
OVW. So I started training with my pops at his school in Jeffersonville, Indiana, which is Grindhouse now. And what happened was Kentucky had shut down, and my school was still doing, or was still open because it was Indiana rules versus Kentucky rules. So OVW came and used our building, and Al Snow found me in there and was like, I'll take her. So then when the world opened back up, I went with OVW back to Kentucky, and yeah, kind of just blew up from there, to be honest.
That girl I was talking about is Jasmine Nix. You know who she
Jasmine
is?
Nix.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, well there you go. There's why she didn't get re-signed. So as far as Al Snow, I mean, I've wrestled with him. I actually beat him. I'll tell that to the fans.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I've learned from him too. Done a couple seminars with him. What's it like training under him?
It's awesome. Al Snow taught me a lot of things, mainly, TV style, things that I still use to this day, especially even outside of wrestling, like going to shows and whatnot, just like the dress for the job you want, not the job you got type of advice versus looking like me. But yeah, Al's cool. That's my granddaddy. We have a love-hate relationship. I'd be ready to punch him out and hug him all at the same time.
What's he doing now? Because I understand that he sold a OVW back to some type of investor. Is he still involved with it?
Yeah, he's still there producing, running. He's running the circus, as they say.
What's it like there at this point? I mean, I know you're JCW, but are they running regularly or?
Oh yeah, they still run every week, every Thursday. I know they're missing the Bougetto is bad, but I don't really know. I've been traveling the world everywhere, trying to, keep my name building and growing and staying relevant, as the kids say.
And as far as that OVW wrestlers show, I know it's still going to go on, but not on Netflix, from what I understand. But I never saw it. I just caught a few clips of it here and there. What was that experience like, and how were you portrayed in that series?
As a young, dumb, hot-headed young lady, which is exactly what I was. So, it was cool though. I mean, I definitely wasn't used to people following me around 24/7, especially as a new wrestler and just trying to find my way. That was different for me, but by the end of it, I was very happy when it all came out. I felt like I looked like a superstar, and they told my story, and it was good. I thought it was good, even good and bad. It was good. Yeah. And I don't know what this continuation thing is. I don't know. People keep talking about that, but if it's not on Netflix and if Hailey J ain't on it, it's not a wrestler's number two. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what they're talking about.
I mean, I'll be honest, I never saw your part, and I got bored of it after a few minutes every time I tried to watch it on
Yeah.
Netflix. So I could see why they wouldn't continue it. But were you portrayed as like a heel in it? Because you seem to have a pretty heelish persona.
Um. You have to go and watch. Looking at it's not.
Yeah. Is there any particular episode if someone
Episode
has
5 would be
episode
like
5?
the most interesting. Yeah, it's me and mom. I mean, I'm in all the episodes. I was pretty heavy featured. All the boys used to make the joke like, "Oh, it's your show. It's your show. It's not even OVW show." So I was pretty heavy featured. But episode 5, I guess you could say, is that's my mom's big death match that everyone talks about. So that was good. That was
There
good.
you go.
I
Well,
guess I was a heel in the show, I believe.
how much of it was set up and how much of it was legitimate reality TV?
All of it was legitimate. Al wrote the stories that we did, and I just did TV as if I was working for OVW. And when the camera crew came, they were like, "Oh, just pretend we're not here," which was pretty hard because they were like right here in your face. But I never got handed a script. I never got to asked to say anything or anything like that. There was one situation with me and my ex where the camera people and them had knew that we were beefing, and even though I didn't want to bring it to the table or anything, they had talked to him and he was okay with talking about it, and they had set up like a, "Oh, can you guys talk to each other real quick," for the camera. And that was probably like the awkwardest, most rehearsed, I guess, thing, or set up, not even rehearsed, but set up thing. The West was just wrestling. It was easy. They're like, "Just be you."
Would we recognize your ex? What was his name?
Eric Darkstorm.
And what's it like dating somebody in wrestling?
Stupid. Don't do it. It's so stupid. Like, no, no. That's my advice. Just no.
Yeah, I would agree. I haven't done it, but I can't see it being good. It would just cause so many issues.
Yeah. It's yes.
I mean, look at how it turned out for Andrade recently. Maybe good in the end, but I mean, I don't think that's too much of a coincidence after the divorce
Right.
that happens. Now you've been in both. You've had some tryouts, right, with WWE, but you've also had AEW matches. Is that correct?
Yes, I have not had a tryout with WWE ever, actually. I was scheduled to appear on one and then I wasn't medically cleared. And then I got medically cleared 6 months later and they basically told me I was relevant and to do something, to keep my name going. But
Yeah.
I did have a couple matches with AEW, and then I also got in an argument with my ex there and kind of got a bunch of heat for myself. And we're just letting all that simmer off.
Yeah, I can tell you because I had something like that happen with WWE. Once you get medically cleared, it's much harder for them to look at you again because they almost look at you as damaged goods.
Hmm.
But hopefully, you got to then get your name big enough that
That they want
that
me,
goes
yeah.
beyond the damaged goods. So is
Exactly.
your ex in AEW now or
No, no.
no?
He's still doing the indies somewhere and who knows where.
So who did you wrestle? And like other than that bad part about it, like tell us a little bit about where did you wrestle? What was it like wrestling on a big AEW show? Because I assume that was in the time when they were getting bigger crowds.
Yes. AW was fun. Um, it was really fun. That was like the biggest crowds that I had wrestled in front of at the time. So it was different wrestling in a huge arena versus, you know, 200 to 500 people in a small room. It's very more intimate with less people. But with the big arena, it was easy. It was like boom, pow, boom, so much sound. You just like auto zoned in.
What town was it in?
My last one was in Louisville, Kentucky, which is my hometown.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And then I wrestled in Memphis. I did Nashville. I did a couple for AEW. I feel like I was pretty good on the list, but you gotta be a professional. You gotta be a professional.
Does AEW pay for extra jobs decently, or is it just
Yeah.
basic? Yeah, okay, that's cool.
At
Do
least they
they
did at
cover
the time.
travel?
I don't know what they do now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And who did you work?
The last one I worked, Taya Valkyrie.
Oh, cool. She's good.
She is good. She curb stomped my face in. Shout out to her.
Really? Are you all right? Did you survive?
I survived. I survived. She didn't knock me out in front of everyone, so I guess it could have been worse, right? Are you there?
Sorry, pressed the wrong button there. As far as like how AEW matches are choreographed, I know WWE like move for move is choreographed. Like there's no surprises. Is AEW like that too before a TV taping?
I mean, I can't speak for their main card or anything like that. I was a dark match, and everything got changed last minute. And Taya was awesome. She was getting ready, didn't have time to call a match or do anything, so she just said, get your personality over and listen to me out there. And that's what we did. So, no.
That's cool. Was John Morrison back there too?
He might have been. I can't recall at the time, but not for my match. He might
It
have been there.
seems he's one of the guys that they don't use much for whatever reason. There's certain people that they just kind of keep on the back burner for whatever reason.
Yeah, sounds about wrestling. I feel like wrestling always does that.
What do you think about the whole Britt Baker situation? It's so weird that, like, what has it been, 9 months or something now? She's been sitting out due to some drama with MJF's wife.
I don't know anything about that, actually.
Yeah.
She's been out 9 months because of drama with MJ.
Yeah, apparently she had a fight with Alicia Toot or something, and then she just mysteriously disappeared.
At a
Like,
show or like online?
I don't know. I think it was like just backstage, back talking about each other or something, and then they stopped bringing Britt Baker backstage, I guess, because MJF is more valuable to them and has more pull.
Damn.
Yeah,
Well, that's also wrestling.
yeah, it's political. Like, there's the one thing that people don't understand. Like, a lot of people just think we're all friends, but there is competitiveness for those top spots, isn't there?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. What's some advice you would give to like a younger female wrestler? Because I understand it's even worse than with the males, with the females, as far as how to act to not piss people off backstage.
Yeah, I'm still learning all of that myself. I have a tendency to piss people off, but I can't do anything but be me and be 100% honest 100% of the time. So it kind of is what it is on that. But my advice to a newbie, find a good school who has a good trainer who has been where you want to be and done the things you want to do. Number one. Number two, be you and turn it up. That's the best advice I ever got.
There you go. And you definitely have a charismatic personality. ATF Media wants to know your thoughts on the Hands of Stone Ronnie Garvin. Have you ever heard of him?
Um, the,
Former NWA champion. I think he's making a joke there.
I was gonna say I don't understand. What about his hands?
His gimmick was he had hands of stone, so if he was to punch you, you would get
Oh,
knocked out.
for sure, for sure.
Actually, speaking of that, you do a lot of intergender matches and mixed matches. What's
At
it like wrestling
JCW,
guys? Yeah,
I do them at JCW. Oh, my little light went off. I do them at JCW. I don't do a lot of intergender literally anywhere else but JCW. But it's fun. I can do a lot more things with them than I can with females because they're stronger and can flip and flop me, and I can do all these cool things. But yeah, you got to be careful. Or at least for me, I want to work in the TV world, and TV doesn't promote men beating women, so
right.
whatever. But at JCW,
Well, I think at one point WWE on Twitter or something on X they had some type of mixed tag tournament at one point, but it didn't last very long.
really, maybe that sounds
Somebody
fun.
wants to know your thoughts on Trish Stratus.
I think she's a legend. I love Trish. Her and Mickey, like I said, part of the reason why I got into wrestling. I want more Mickey than Trish, even though Trish is a blonde and she was hot. I just love Mickey's, crazy personality and whatnot.
Ibsen, she already said she's been contacted by WWE at one point. She was offered to try out. Rewind and hear that out. But who did you deal with in WWE? Maybe you could answer that. Who was in charge when you were dealing with them?
Um, well, I got my phone call from Gabe Sapolsky, so he's still in cahoots with them. So, yeah. Hey, Gabe, if you're watching.
Well, I do know actually there's a couple WWE agents that watch my channel. So what would you tell them? And I'm not exaggerating that because a couple of them have even asked me questions after certain interviews. So What would you tell a WWE executive if they were watching this?
I would tell them to check out the Bullshadow with Fatty, Hollywood Haley Jake, because I don't play. And I would let them know, like, I have grown up a lot. Okay, what you see on TV is not really the person that I am. Yeah. And also, I am not scared to like play the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Be the big heel. There's a lot of people that hate me. That's the other thing. I'm not marketable because I'm a white girl with braids and I'm Hollywood and blah blah blah, all this stuff. Uh, we could use that to our advantage. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not scared to play that role. I will be the top heel. Bring them in. Bring them in. Yeah.
Who do you think you would work well with? If you could name like three of the WWE girls that you think would be well suited for your style and gimmick.
Uh, I think that I could work any of them. I could tell you who I want to work, but I feel like I could put a story in there with anyone. I think me and Jada Parker would be a good little tag mix situation. I'd love to wrestle Liv Morgan. I'd love to wrestle Charlotte Flair. Um, yeah, Rhea Ripley. There's so many people that I would want to wrestle. I don't even think about if my personality would mesh with them because I feel like whatever story WWE is writing, I can make Hollywood fit there.
Did you see that SmackDown tag team or three-way match a few weeks ago that everyone said was like the worst match of the year?
I did see it. I
Yeah.
did see it.
What did it make you think when you watched that and be like, what the heck? Why do these people get chances?
um, I mean, at the end of the day, we're doing a show and people mess up all the time and whatnot. But yeah, you guys are the professionals. You know what I'm saying? We don't. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Is you guys are the professionals.
Exactly. Dennis wants to know you wrestled your mom. Do you remember
Plenty of
wrestling
times.
your mom?
Yes, which match? I've wrestled her plenty of times. Plenty.
There you go, Dennis. Answer that back. And someone else wants to know which female wrestler would you like to get advice from the most?
Um, to get advice from.
Like maybe to be your mentor, if you could choose someone.
I kind of already have my one Mickey James. She's awesome. She's always there if I need her. I could text her right now or call her right now. She would answer and get back to me. I would consider her a mentor. She's awesome. Maybe let's go newer. Let's say like Charlotte Flair. And I say Charlotte because yeah, she's like my dream opponent, but she's had a lot of hate, and I feel like she's dealt with a lot of that her whole life. And even though ours is two different stories, I'm second generation, first to make it. She's second generation, and everyone says she got everything handed to her because of her name, but I think she proved that she's one of the best in the game, and I feel like I will do that too. So I need to, learn from the best and then figure out how to finagle my way through this nonsense because it's something.
What are your thoughts on Natalia? She's had a great career.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah.
That's another one. That's another one. I would love to get some mentorship from Natalia. Um, she's the one who's willing to help all the next generation after generation. She's so giving, man. So giving.
And I've been slapped by her because I trained with her down in the dungeon, and she should go into slap fight. She has a very stiff slap. I can say that. But do you find it weird? I guess maybe they're using her more behind the scenes, but like I think she's had more indie matches this year than WWE matches. For some reason, they're not featuring her that much on TV.
Yeah, but I'm sure she's enjoying these, indie matches. Sure she's enjoying herself.
As far as famous women wrestlers you've been in the ring with, who are some of the ones that some of our fans might recognize?
Famous.
Is there any
Mm,
ex WWE ladies you've fought or anything?
I'm trying to think. You guys know, or maybe you don't know, but I get hit in the head for a living. I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name right now. She's famous for being her boyfriend, I guess. But Masha was a really cool match for me, regardless of how anyone feels about her. Um,
Yeah, here's one thing I will say about her though, like she hasn't been convicted or even charged with anything, and it's like everyone threw her under the bus. I don't know the situation, but it's like she hasn't even been arrested or charged with anything, and she's been taken off a ton of shows. So
of everything, yeah.
yeah, it's like
I
people
just
jump
felt
the gun
like,
sometimes.
yeah, and if it's personal business, like I don't know, keep your personal business outside of professional business. If it didn't happen within the wrestling community, I'm not understanding why it was brought up, especially if they were already separated for a minute. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until she got popping and was doing things with WWE or whatever, that all this even came out. Like, it's ignorant to me. And half the time, these people go on the internet and cancel their quote unquote loved ones or whatever. They always go back and, oh, I didn't mean it, or she didn't mean it, or like, recount their statement. And I'm just like, what was the point, you know? Um, but yeah, yeah.
What was your experience like working with the NWA, and would you return to the NWA?
I would return to the NWA. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the girls there. Kinsey Page, Kylie Page, the Page sisters, phenomenal people. Markova, uh, they're all really good wrestlers and they work really, really hard. It's just inspiring and motivating to even be around them. So, yeah, I'll go back. I want Kinsey.
What do you like about working with rock stars like Billy Corgan and ICP? Is that kind of surreal that, oh, my boss is Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah, Billy he's kind of low key, stays more out of the way. I feel like Violent J is more involved with more hands on. I definitely see more of him and talk to him more, and then even get to see his concerts, which is even cooler. Like after the shows, man, it would be so lit if NWA did a show and then Smash Pumpkins played. But that I haven't been there for that, but I have been there for ICP over and over. So it's cool. It's different. Um, it just gives me light on how big I could be one day. It lets me know I'm getting closer to my goals for sure.
So at ICP shows, it's always a concert after the wrestling show. Is that how it works?
hmm hmm Usually,
Yeah.
usually, some they just have concerts without us, but we're like the opening act, which is cool because it's their fans, it's new eyes every single time.
Do you travel in tour buses for those shows, or do you drive yourself?
hmm I've done both. I've done tour bus and drove. The Houston or the Texas tour I was driving because I live in Texas, but other time I'll fly out and get on the bus and yeah, live that road life, road dog, road.
Do you sleep on the bus when you guys are doing that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We got our own little cubbies. I feel like a little vampire in a coffin. I'm like, what's that? Just a
So
black
how many
hole.
people fit in the bus?
Well, they got the big room in the back where JB, and then we got one, two, three, four, five, six, maybe eight bunks, and then there's like a whole living chill space, and then the drivers. So yeah, like 8 to 10 people.
So JCW is really the only touring company left really that's doing like multiple shows in a row right now in the US, other than the midget shows for
Yeah,
whatever
I
reason.
was gonna say micro wrestling. Yeah, facts. We are, which is cool because I go somewhere else every single day and wrestle at a cool venue every single day.
Now, is it more of a, do you guys go out after, or is it more like, do we go back in the bus, play video games all night? Because I know it's a
Um,
different generation.
we we all usually like to stay and watch and support our boss and watch his concert. It's cool to see him do his thing. We all the whole roster loves to do that. It doesn't matter how many times we've seen it. We're all gonna stay and support him. And then yeah, we party in the meantime during that, and then after that, yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite JCP song or ICP song?
Cherry pie. I need a bitch. Yeah, that's my jam.
Have you ever got up on stage and done a tune with them?
Not a tune. I have went up on stage and threw Fago, but I have not
Oh
done.
God. That's
Mhm.
hilarious. Could you explain to the fans what that is for the ones that haven't seen it?
Fago Armageddon, bro. At the end of the shows, they have fans and stuff come up and they give them big 2 liters of Fago, and you just throw it at everyone and shake it up and then rocket launch that shit. It's crazy. It's a fun time. And it's not even sticky, it's sugar free.
You've been around 6 years. Have you had many super fan experiences yet where you have these people that are like just obsessed with you for whatever reason?
Yeah, I've had a few. I've had people cry. Um, yeah, I've had a few, especially after the Netflix series. I just had a lot of people that connected with my story and related to me, and were grateful that I was able to speak about my experiences on camera.
What are your thoughts of Vampiro, who I just interviewed? Now he's an agent and an on-screen talent for you guys.
He's awesome. He was my agent the last show, but yeah, he's awesome, and he's old school. We appreciate old school over here. So if you have an issue, instead of crying and complaining about it, he'll tell you to handle it in the ring.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. It's weird though because there is some old school elements to JCW, but as you mentioned, there's some very other school, like the pizza wrestler guy. So it's
hmm
kind of a mix, but
Yeah,
it's definitely the closest to like an old school mentality where you're touring. There's wild wrestlers that are not. They're the complete opposite of Cody Rhodes, I guess you could say.
yes, yes, for sure on that.
Someone wants to know a couple of your favorite matches. If someone hasn't seen you wrestle yet, what should we look up?
Definitely go look at the match with me and Masha. I'd say my AEW matches, any of them, they're all good. I've had some really good like stories at OVW. The matches may not have been all great, but story wise. And then now go look up Reality of Wrestling on YouTube and look at JCW Lunacy, because those are my most recent, what I'm doing the most right now. And you can just see how much I've grown.
Yeah, JCW Lunacy, their full events are on YouTube on the Juggalo Championship Wrestling channel. Plus, they've let me post a bunch of individual matches on this channel, so I thank Violent J for that. Someone on here was asking your proudest moment in wrestling.
Proudest moment in wrestling. Mm, well, I would say I got a couple. Got a couple. Traveling across the pond, going out of the country for wrestling. That was pretty cool. Um, Having a freaking Netflix show where I was a huge feature of. That's pretty cool. Being signed to Wow Women Wrestling. That was pretty cool. All my major, things. Um, I think the most thing that I'm proud about, to be honest, is that I haven't changed who I am this whole time. Like, a lot of wrestlers have trouble figuring out who they are, what their gimmick or whatever it is. And I just didn't have that. I've been me this whole time, and everything that I've gotten this far is because I am me, and I won't change. So,
And you talk about across the pond. There was someone asking earlier about wrestling in the UK.
I did that. I'm a champion in the UK. They wanted me back this month actually, but our dates weren't lined up. I was already booked, so we're gonna keep that. It's coming. It's coming.
So, how was your experience over in the United Kingdom? Because I've been over there a couple times. It's very different than the U.S.
It is. It was awesome though. I tried different things, and they showed a lot of love. Like I was mad over in the UK. I made the most money in merch that I have ever made this far in my career, still to this day. Um, and yeah, the one thing I'll say though, I was out, I was just kind of like sightseeing and whatnot, and everyone kept asking me like, "Oh, you all right, mate? You all right?" And then it got to the point where I was like, "Why does everyone keep asking me if I'm all right?" Yes, I'm all right. Like what? I don't get it. And then the dude explained to me like, oh, that's how we like say hello. Like you get, you know. I'm like, oh, well, that was my only awkward moment. I feel like.
They go, hiya, too. It's really weird.
Uh-huh.
Their expression. Did they do that chant, who are ya? Who are ya? There's some weird chants that they do.
No, I didn't get the "Who are you" chant.
What was the toughest part about wrestling over there? Was there any difference in the style or anything?
Um, yes, you know the wrestler. They are for the smart people out there, whatever you want to call yourselves. We call them wrestlers, and then there's workers in the wrestling business, right? I consider myself a worker because I like to tell stories and do TV style wrestling, big personality, blah blah blah. And then there are like the indie wrestlers. We'll call them wrestler number 97, where they can wrestle their ass off. They are the best wrestler. Mwah. It just doesn't matter for what I want to do in my life. And it was a good mix of both. I feel like they were ready to wrestle, and my OVW trained brain was like, "What? This don't make sense. Why would we stack this? Why would we do this? That's a lot. Less is more. Less is more." But I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I, um, what do you say? Kept up with them. I had me a wrestling match, a quote unquote indie wrestling match, not a TV match, and I had fun, and it was good. So that was the difference, though. It was more wrestling, less personality.
You are a free agent right now, pretty much, right? Or are you
Right?
signed to a contract with JCW?
No, 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 no.
So, what would be your short term and long term goals right now?
Short-term goals, mm, continue to grow my brand and travel, everywhere. Long-term goals would obviously be getting signed to a major company, and then adding my Power Slap goals onto this, little ordeal. I'm gonna become Power Slap champion one of these days, and yeah, that's me. That's what I plan for my life. I don't know. I got nothing. I'm like a go with the wind type of girl. Everyone asks me questions. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I should write it down and figure it out. But I know what I'm working towards, and whatever happens in that process, we'll see. Because I get new opportunities every day. I might go do a movie tomorrow. Like you never know. You never know.
Have you done much acting?
Uh, no, no. I did the like a scene for a movie. I don't think it got picked up or anything, but that was it. And I had to do like a kissing scene, and that was like very awkward. And I was like, "Can we just cut it off right here?" And the phone rings. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be a very good actress, but I'm fantastic at improv. I know for a fact. So something like that. I've even done stand-up comedy. I opened for Al Snow and David Muxlin. I don't know how to say his name. Muxlin. You know how to say his name?
Al Snow is a stand up comedian now.
What? You didn't know that? Yeah.
Oh,
He does stand-up with his friend. It's crazy.
are all of his jokes about Mick Foley?
No, but there are a lot of mom jokes, a lot of perverted Al Snow jokes. Yeah.
You got a pretty cool tattoo on your hand there. Could you give us a better look at it and also tell us a little bit about your tattoos?
Well, I hate this camera process because everything is backwards to me than usual. But oh yeah, see, I got this one on here. It says established in 1999. That's when I was born. So they don't ID me at the stores. They still ID me. And I got this little flower on here because I tried to commit suicide and I had a scar right here. So I just covered that up with this, you know what I'm saying? And this is mine and my ex's tattoo, King and Queen. I'm just going to make it a card or something because that didn't work out. And then this on my hand, it says trust no one, because everyone's fucking fake in this
That's
bitch.
important for wrestling.
Exactly. And then I got my famous cheetah print on my arm. This is what I'm known for, I feel like. It says Hollywood, not Hollywood. But I don't know. I thought it was cool when I was 16 and I got it. And my whole leg's done. I got leggings on, so y'all can't see that. But yeah, I don't really have all meanings behind all these tattoos. I just saw it. I liked it. I wanted it. I got it. I know a tattoo artist that was like, "Let me tattoo you," and I was like, "Bet, let's go." Yeah.
Which one was the most painful?
Ooh, probably one of my ribs, to be honest.
Oh
Ow,
boy. Oh boy.
sorry.
Don't hurt
Uh,
yourself.
they were there's like little dots on there, and I literally thought he was like stabbing me in the ribs. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Wow. Well, we really appreciate you coming on. Where can people follow you? Obviously, you're going to be on Juggalo Championship Wrestling, but
Yes.
what's your personal social media?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at Hollywood Haley J, all smashed together. Hollywood Haley J, all smashed together. And my Cash App is money sign Hollywood HJ if you want to cash at me for your entertainment. Eh? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Any other account, it's a lie. I only got one on each platform.
And you mentioned the suicide cover up thing. I mean, I've been down that road when I had some false accusations I was dealing with years ago through a tough
Hmm.
time. So I'm not judging or anything. But could you tell us a little bit about that situation? What brought you to those thoughts?
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, life rock bottom. I had just had my son. My son was 2 months old, and I had postpartum depression. And I was a very angry young lady at that time, anyways. And yeah, it all just got to me, you know. It all just got to me, and I had a crazy moment. And instead of hurting my son, obviously, I went to myself and just stabbed myself in the freaking wrist and did a little and then my friend came and Captain Save a Ho. And really, I had my two best friends. I consider them my sisters who got me through that rough time because obviously I was not a good mother in my right mind. You know what I'm saying? So they had moved in with me and helped me take care of Zayden and helped me get my mental back right because it is a disease, but it is all mental, and you just have to change the way you think. You can do it. Yeah, but you have to want to do it. And I had to realize that. And once I did, here we are.
How old's your son now?
He's 7.
Oh
He's
wow,
7.
what does he think about Mama Wrestling?
He thinks I'm a superstar. Even the power slap thing, he wants to go do power slap. He said they should make a kids power slap. I'm like, oh my
Oh
god,
God.
right? Could you imagine kids just crying and stuff?
I would have a tough time if like watching my mother get slapped in the face. Does he find that tough or is he pretty
Okay, this last one was a little tough for him. It was a little tough for him, but he wasn't there. The first time he went, it was live, or he was there in person, and I was just in a different mental space. Like it's non-negotiable. I'm in mom mode, I'm in fight or flight mode, I'm in all the modes you could think of when my son is right there about to watch me do this. So I'm pretty sure that's why I got a knockout and why I didn't go down. This time he was 1,000 miles away at home with his granny, and he was watching it live on YouTube. And yeah, he seen me. He called me. He was very upset. He was mad, and he just wanted to know I was okay. And that was it. After that, now he just roasts me for losing.
have you met Dana White or anyone
Yes.
famous? Oh yeah? What was
Hmm.
that like?
It was cool. I told him to take a picture with me, Hollywood Haley J style, and he did. And I was like, yeah, he's cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he
cool.
Daniel's cool. He'd be at the events, and then the boys, some of the power slide, not me personally, but he's always like giving out $5,000 chips or something. He's always doing something. So he's cool as far as we know over here. And I'm grateful for the opportunity because I mean I'm getting paid way more in power slide than I am in wrestling. So shout out to Dana White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it tougher on you mentally like the night before? Are you thinking about it? Oh man, like I'm gonna get slapped in the face, or what do you
It's
do to take
it's
your
not
mind
even
off?
that. It's I think it's the whole week. I hate the whole week. I hate the anticipation. I'd rather just go do it. Like once I find out like who's slapping first, who won the coin toss, it's just like it's annoying. Um, but how do we prepare? I think well, I wrestled all the way up until the point I have to fly out for fight week, and then that week they keep you kind of busy with social media and weigh-ins and other stuff, and then beyond that, me and all the boys would just go out and walk, and I feel like keep our mind off of it more than we keep our mind on it. And then we'll slap the pad and things like that. But yeah, no, it's not. It's really That's not the mental part for me. That's the issue. I think it's the strength and defense. I'm still learning that this is a sport because I kind of went in there with an attitude. It was a bunch of UFC and MMA fighters versus a bunch of pro wrestlers who they consider fake wrestlers who were not going to last and all this bullshit. So I kind of had an attitude towards these power slappers like it's just a slap. Like I don't know what you guys are all freaking out about. It's just a slap, right? I do way worse in wrestling for way less money. Okay. So I kind of had that attitude, and then it wasn't until my dumbass got slept that I was like, oh, you know what? There is more to it because we have all these buttons and nerves and all these things that I didn't even know about. You know what I'm saying? And these people are literally aiming for it because they know about it. So it is a game. It is a sport. It's like T-ball with our chin, So yeah, once I figured that out, now I'm ready to get to work. I'm ready to start exercising my neck, get that thick neck out here, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I mean, I hear chewing gum helps too. Is there anything you've changed about your training? And what kind of
Mouthful.
exercises do you do for your neck?
um, Neck bridges. There's this band resistance things. There's all kinds of stuff. Obviously, I haven't been doing anything, or my ass wouldn't have been knocked out last week. But since that happened, I'm going to actually start training. And I kind of, you don't want to just dive right into it and start doing all this heavy shit on your neck because it is your neck and it's important. So I'm just kind of starting off slow into it. Like I said, the resistant bands, and then they have this like headgear thing that you can tie a weight to, and do your neck things, and then neck bridges. Get your traps and your core strong, your hips strong for generating power. Like there's so many different things that come with this. It's way more than just slap.
And for the actual training on how to slap, like, do they teach you anything? Do you have a coach? How does that work?
Yep, they give you coaches. You'll do a combine like months before they even choose you to go do the slap stuff. And that's kind of where you learn all the rules and everything. And then they'll give you a coach, and your coach is there to help you. And then the whole week prior to our fight, we have a day scheduled for training. The day before, we have the refs come and go over all the rules and things again. Yeah, they take it very serious. Treat it like, it's a real combat sport.
And you're big into the weed smoking. Do you have any favorite type or anything? Because we had a couple questions pop up about that earlier.
Indica.
Indica, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day there'll be a Hollywood brand.
I'm sure there will, especially with JCW. You see Willie Mack and Too Tough Tony got their own weed now with the Airheads people. They don't even smoke weed.
Do you do kratom at all?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh no, yeah. I like that recently. I've tried it.
Kratom?
It's pretty tasty. It's kind of like weed, but it's more. It can enhance your workouts as well.
Oh, hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's been great having you on, and I'm going to keep following you in JCW, and we'll be there live in Wichita, October
Woo-hoo.
28th, covering it. And there's the tour schedule for everyone. Again, I got the link in the description to the website. Oh, there's the title.
Yeah.
But how about you end this thing off with a promo? What's going to happen on the October JCW tour to your opponent?
What's poppin'? It's me, the Bushetoist Baddie, JCW's only bad champion. And yeah, we're about to go on tour. And yeah, I don't know who I'm facing, but just know it doesn't matter who I'm facing because whoever they throw in that ring with me is gonna be OD. Because I'm Hollywood Hailey J, and I don't play.